The NewJeans dispute has become one of the most chaotic, convoluted, and downright messiest battles I have ever seen. At first glance, it may seem like a classic case of idols fighting for their independence, with former Ador's CEO Min Hee-jin and their parents painting HYBE as a corporate villain. However, when looking at the situation from a broader industry perspective, the stance of the Korea Management Federation, Korea Entertainment Producers Association, Record Label Industry Association of Korea, Recording Industry Association of Korea, and Korea Music Content Association starts making a lot more sense. What many fail to acknowledge is that this case is not just about NewJeans. It's about the potential collapse of industry order if idols and executives can freely disregard contracts and manipulate public sentiment. While HYBE is by no means a perfect company, the way Min Hee-jin and NewJeans and their parents have handled this situation is deeply questionable. At first, the Entertainment Association's joint statement condemning NewJeans for tampering seemed like an attempt to shut down artist autonomy. They accused NewJeans and their supporters of manipulating public sentiment to frame the narrative in their favor, warning that, if left unchecked, this could set a dangerous precedent where artists and smaller agencies could challenge their contracts by stirring up public outrage, rather than following legal procedures. At first glance, this may sound like a corporate sob story, but they're actually making a fair point. If every time an idol group has a contract dispute, they can turn it into a public campaign against their agency, the industry would descend into chaos. Companies would be unable to maintain stable management over their artists, and K-pop's global reputation could suffer if international investors see idols breaking contracts whenever they want. We've already seen the damage that public sentiment manipulation can cause using this whole fiasco, where media narratives often favor the most vocal party rather than the one with the stronger legal case. The associations are arguing that industry stability is at stake, and they're not wrong. Moreover, NewJeans' parents and Min Hee-jin have been using media tactics that are eerily similar to the very manipulation they accuse HYBE of. The association's statement indirectly calls them out for this, emphasizing that public sentiment should not dictate legal contracts. They aren't necessarily siding with HYBE. They're warning against a systemic breakdown that could result in other artists attempting to pull the same stunt whenever they find an agency relationship inconvenient. NewJeans' parents wasted no time in issuing a fiery rebuttal, accusing the entertainment associations of blindly siding with HYBE and spreading misinformation. They claimed that these organizations remained silent when HYBE launched a smear campaign against NewJeans, framing the members as gaslighters and manipulators, while HYBE was actively harming the group's reputation. They further argued that the real victims were NewJeans themselves, along with their fans and the general public who had been misled by biased reporting. They dismissed HYBE's financial losses as a company-specific issue, rather than a reflection of the entire industry. This argument, however, is full of logical gaps and contradictions. First, their claim that HYBE used the media to smear NewJeans while pretending to be silent victims ignores how Min Hee-jin has been doing the exact same thing, especially to other K-pop groups. Since the dispute began, Min and the parents have been aggressively pushing a counter-narrative, framing NewJeans as helpless victims fighting against an oppressive conglomerate. And let's talk about their lawsuit against Tanasia, which is one of the most blatant attempts to suppress negative press in recent memory. They claimed that the media outlets spread false information about NewJeans, yet the very lawsuit itself is an attempt to dictate how journalists report on the situation. If NewJeans' parents are so committed to fair media representation, why are they trying to shut down unfavorable coverage rather than counter it with facts? It's blatant hypocrisy. Additionally, their refusal to acknowledge the broader economic damage they have caused shows a complete lack of awareness about how the industry operates. By turning this into a messy public war rather than a structured legal battle, they have dragged down investor confidence, damaged the global perception of K-pop contracts, and created an environment where artists may feel emboldened to disregard their commitments. The hypocrisy of NewJeans' parents becomes even clearer when considering their latest accusations regarding the group's scheduled performance at ComplexCon in Hong Kong. According to them, HYBE's chairman Bang Si-hyuk personally intervened to sabotage the event, pressuring organizers to cancel NewJeans' appearance. On the surface, this sounds like a damning accusation, but where is the actual proof? Despite their bold claims, no verifiable evidence has been provided to support the idea that Bang Si-hyuk attempted to block the performance. What's more telling is how this accusation conveniently aligns with their ongoing narrative of HYBE being a corporate villain out to destroy their daughters' careers. This tactic isn't new. Min Hee-jin herself has spent months using the media to push the idea that NewJeans is a powerless, wronged party, all while maneuvering behind the scenes to wrest control away from HYBE. The parents' sudden outrage over the ComplexCon situation seems less like genuine concern and more like yet another strategic move to manipulate public sentiment. By repeatedly casting HYBE as the antagonist, they continue to build a case that their daughters are being unfairly targeted, even when the accusations lack substantial proof. Moreover, this latest claim raises another question. If NewJeans' parents believe HYBE is truly trying to sabotage the group's career, why would they continue to escalate the situation instead of seeking legal mediation? The answer is simple, because this was never about finding a reasonable resolution. Their actions have been carefully designed to stir up enough controversy that HYBE is forced to cave under public pressure. Whether it's through legal threats, media manipulation, or now, unverified allegations of event interference, the goal has always been to paint NewJeans as the ultimate victims while vilifying anyone who stands in their way, even when it's point-blank clear that they are all in the wrong here, and it might most likely backfire on all of them. Ador's response to the controversy surrounding NewJeans' parents was not just a denial, it was a direct dismantling of the misinformation being spread. They firmly rejected the claim that HYBE's chairman, Bang Si-hyuk, had intervened to block NewJeans from performing at ComplexCon, calling such accusations completely unfounded. Ador made it clear that no sabotage had taken place. One of the most absurd aspects of this situation is that the only thing Ador had originally requested was for the group's official name, NewJeans, to be used in media coverage and legal filings, something that should be common sense. Yet, instead of acknowledging this reasonable request, the parents escalated the situation into an all-out public war, accusing HYBE of trying to erase the group. The irony is glaring. While they claim HYBE is manipulating the media, it is they who have repeatedly distorted simple facts to serve their own interests. This insistence on dramatizing every issue only further proves that their goal is not fairness or protection, but total narrative control. At the core is a reminder that contracts and professionalism matter. No matter how much emotional rhetoric is thrown, NewJeans willingly entered legal agreements, and those agreements must be upheld. While advocacy and the protection of artists' rights are essential, they must be balanced with respect for legal processes and industry standards. The actions of NewJeans and their parents, seeming well-intentioned, risk undermining the very structures that support and sustain the K-pop industry. It is imperative that all parties involved engage in transparent, evidence-based discussions and utilize appropriate legal avenues to resolve their differences, ensuring the continued growth and stability of the industry as a whole.